Hey everybody, welcome to another live training on a Thursday. So I hope you're all doing really well today. I really wanted to focus in on the fact that your story matters. Now, I was chatting to one of my masterminders in the past little while, and she not only was feeling a fraud, she was feeling scared about sharing her story. Now, I don't know if any of you guys feel this way as well, particularly when you've been through a fair amount of trauma, for example, in your life, which I think every human being has to an extent, right? Hey, Marianne. The ability to share that story with a little bit of insight can help people relate to you. Now, how you use this in a marketing sense, particularly as a health practitioner, this is what really seals the deal for a lot of people. Like if you even just do tip of the iceberg amount of your story, you are going to get more people who listen to you. So like, for example, the story, like my story that I share with my clients. Actually, how about I just change this? The story I use with you guys for practitioners. Let's just say when I reckon I must have made every single online business mistake prior to this year. And I now have people asking me, how do I do this differently? How do I do this? Because they know that I've been through it. And do you know how they know that I've been through it? Because I've shared my journey. And it's so important to let people know that you've been through some stuff, but also you've come out the other side and you've learnt this. So like this one lady, oh bless her, like she had really severe like gynecological problems, and she feels a whole bunch of shame. Yet her journey, if she were to share that, holy moly, there are so many women out there with all the gynecological problems that are ignoring it, that need to actually go and get them checked out. And if she were to share her story, it might just spark at least one of them to go and get it checked out, to go see the gyno. And what might the gyno say? Maybe she needs surgery, maybe she doesn't. But the fact of the matter is, by sharing your story and being genuine, your people are going to relate to you. So Megan, are you scared of sharing your story as well? Like, is there some trauma that you're like, oh my God, I can't tell the people my trauma? Another person who I've spoken to, bless her as well. Everyone has this heartfelt story. Like some women who I know who are health practitioners who specialize with and have such good experience with mental health stuff, they have escaped domestic violence. They have like literally been living out of their cars in suitcases and still maintaining a business. Like, holy moly, do they have to share that minute detail? No. But they can say that they have been through significant stress and extreme times in their life and still maintain their livelihood and motherhood and come out the other side so much more resilient. So there's something really special in sharing your story. In a naturopathy sense, on my website, I share with them that I went through adrenal fatigue, like fairly severe adrenal fatigue and thyroid stuff and weight stuff and stress stuff when my kids were a lot younger. And I went through fairly severe emotional upheaval until I realized and I tapped back into that side of me that was a bit more spiritual, that was a bit more enlightened to the fact that I can change my thoughts, I can be more aware, I can relax into my body. There's a whole bunch of other things going on inside of me, and I was reacting to everything else outside of me. And guess how many women read that on my website and they book in because of that? There are so many. I mean, countless, like dozens. Will say, because of that story that you wrote on there, that's how I feel. I feel rage. I feel irritable. I don't speak nicely to the people around me. My kids, I don't feel like I'm showing up for my kids the way I'd like to. Like, this is the stuff that helps the people to book in with you. So when you're sitting there and you're creating your social content, have a think about the stuff that's actually just human and share that. Share the stuff that like sits in here and you're like, I don't know whether to share it. This is the stuff that you really do need to open up and just go, okay, I'm going to be brave today. I'm just going to share even just a little smidgen. It could be really something simple that isn't emotional as well. But I dare say the things that you share that are going to evoke an emotional response in someone, everyone makes a decision from that emotional space. And they might just go to that point of, yeah, I don't have to tolerate this bloating anymore. I don't have to tolerate my sore boobs every month anymore. I don't have to tolerate my period pain, whatever it is, you know, like talk about the thing that's really specific for you that you've overcome or you're working through, and you've got some insight to share, because none of us are perfect. I promise you, none of us are perfect. So sharing the value through your journey is just so important. I can't stress that enough. So Megan, simply get mortifying, embarrassed with sharing anything personal. You're working through that now. That's good though. I totally get that. And it might be because previously you might have been shamed for it. Like when kids, you know, when we're kids, this is often like a childhood thing that we've been shamed or embarrassed when we've overshared. But if you just do, like, I would suggest just starting with something really simple, like maybe even just changing your diet. When you changed your diet to this happened and this helped this symptom. Like you could just literally share something really simple like that. That might be that one thing that one of your people needs to hear that day. And guess what? They're going to trust you that little bit more because you're telling a story that's so very similar to them. It's hitting them in an emotional sense. Yeah, Mel, of course, you do get more traction on a personal post. And I have to say, like, it doesn't always have to be a live video. It could literally just be a selfie. I actually say, like, if you're wondering what to post a selfie and a slight little story about what's happened. And you'll literally get so much more traction than like trying to write all about the benefits of polyphenols or something like that. Seriously, people love our information, but sometimes I feel like naturopaths and nutritionists, like we're almost overgiving with all of our content. We just need to like dial it back a bit, make it a little more personal. Now, oh, Rose, bless you. Yes, I bet this is hitting you with all the feels. And like you have such a beautiful story to tell. And I hope that this is giving you a little bit, even just a tiny bit of help so you can take that little bit of a step forward when you feel the want and need to do so. Because we're all going to be at different stages. I get that. So what's comfortable for me is obviously not going to be comfortable for another person. And I totally, totally honor that. Like you're all going to have what is going to feel right for you and what feels right for your business. So I just say start small and be consistent with it. So if you just go, all right, on each whatever day, choose a day of the week, and that's like your personal post day. And what are you going to talk about? It could be food, it could be diet, it could be exercise, it could be, you know, something else in the holistic realm. It could be something to do with your... Sorry guys, I have no idea what happened there. I felt like I was in such a flow and then all of a sudden Facebook timed out. So just coming, this will be like a part 2. I would label this part 2 of today's live. But the other part that I really wanted to focus in on today is I read a post by somebody else who had said something like, this is a story. This really doesn't resonate with me, but this is her story. Her story is that she heard when she was at college that health practitioners are not allowed to be businesslike, that we're not allowed to make money, that we're not allowed to do anything apart from be professional. Now, for me, that really struck a chord. I was like, whoa, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. Like, we can be professional, and we actually, to be able to succeed, we have to run a business. And we have to learn the systems and the consistency, and we have to learn how to be our own boss and run our own books and learn to be good with our cash flow. And like, there is so much more than just being professional. And this is where this storytelling can come in. This actually helps your clients realize that they can relate to you and you can still be professional. This is the thing. You're still a health professional, and you can still be in business, and you can still be human. So the beauty of this is that you don't have to be perfect while you do all this stuff. I think that's like one of the main things that causes procrastination in most of us, is we want it all to be perfect. Like, I don't know if I've said this too much in this group yet, but I'm bringing out a podcast in a couple of weeks. And I notice myself procrastinating. Every time I want to pre-record something, I get all like, oh, should I do it now? Now's not a good time. Oh, the kids might be loud. Oh, the dog might bark. All the different things come up in my head of why I shouldn't do it because it needs to be perfect. But you know what? Like, if I didn't do it, then my voice wouldn't be heard and I wouldn't reach the people who need to hear the messages that I've got so many amazing guests that are coming on my podcast and I can't wait to share it with everyone. So I'm using that excitement to keep me motivated. So it's not about showing up and being perfect. It's about showing up and being you and opening up and being that little bit vulnerable and allowing those people into your space so that they feel safe to book in with you. Because you think, if you're super clinical, have you ever had those clients that come in and you've got to probe, like absolutely probe them with a gazillion questions to get them to answer one thing, yes or no? Like, don't you want your clients to come in and to already feel open? I love those clients who come in and they literally walk in, they're like, oh, I feel like I'm talking to someone who I already know because I watch all your videos. Like, I love that because they've already listened to my gut health stuff. They've listened to my women's health stuff. They've listened to this. They've listened to that. It's just like awesome. So I know you've got the foundation. So let's get into the nitty gritty of what's really specific for you. So wouldn't you like that? That somebody comes in and they're already open and ready to work with you? Now that's the type of person who you'll attract if you can start showing up as you and sharing your specific story with people. So I would love, this is my next part, so thank you all for jumping on the second part of the video because, yes, for some reason Facebook wanted to cut us off. But the other part is I'm going to set up a little challenge in this group in the coming week, and I would like you all to come in and there will be a prize. The people who come in and do the most Facebook Lives will win the prize. So I'll put all the details up in a separate post. It'll be like a static post. But if you're up for it and you're ready to tell your story and you're ready to jump in live in a safe space, I would love to invite you in. The more that the person who does the most Facebook Lives will win a prize. And that will be time with me. That will be one-on-one mentoring. That will be one-on-one. Let's take you to the next level for whatever it is you want to work on that week. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. So have a think about what sorts of stories you would like to share. And I'm okay with you just sharing little tidbits. Remember that. It doesn't need to be a super long Facebook Live. I would say, I'll put some parameters up, but I would say it needs to be at least 2 minutes. Okay? And the person who shows up the most will win the prize. So I will put the details up very soon. And thank you all so very much for joining me. I'm so excited to see what comes out of this. I'm sure a whole bunch more courage and confidence and bravery will come out the other side, which really lights me up. So thank you all so much for joining today, and I will see you all soon.